From Alexandra in Central Otago, Television New Zealand presents L&P Top Town 1986. Please welcome your hosts for the show, Bill McCarthy and Paddy O'Donnell.
Hello and welcome to Alexandra for the first round of L&P Top Town for 1986. It's a scorcher here in Central today. One of the great scorchers, Paddy O'Donnell, commentator.
From the blowflies of Melbourne to the mozzies of the Fiordland area, it's a great change for us, and we look forward to injecting some fresh South Island era magic into the show tonight.
Alexandra is the host and competing town today. They've invited along Oamaru and Invercargill to try and fight it out. Now, there are 12 people in each team, 6 men and 6 women. Each game has 6 points for first, 4 for second, and 2 for third. Each team can play a joker at the beginning of any game, and that doubles the points for that game. All right? They're after $2,000 today for the winner. But more importantly, that winner goes on to the March the 1st final and goes on to try to win the title and truly be named the top town for New Zealand 1986. To introduce the 3 teams, here's Paddy.
From the point further south, and understandably they've been training on oysters with Vegemite for dessert, they tell me. Would you welcome, please, Barry Shields and the Invercargill Cougars? Invercargill Cougars! Competing for the very first time in a top town, but they're out to make a great shake of it in the red and gold. Here's Oamaru! Oamaru, let's hear it for him! The hometown's heroes who've been striving for weeks and weeks to make the 16-strong squad to represent Alexandra. And if you thought Alexandra was a sleepy little hollow, you're in for a big surprise. Now to introduce other top team personalities, here's Bill McCarthy.
Please welcome Melissa Bardsley, Miss Top Town 1986. Melissa has the job not only to start and probably more importantly stop the games at the correct duration, but also to keep the score. And to keep everyone honest, here's the triple Olympic gold medalist from the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, the great canoeist Ian Ferguson. Ian, explain to the folks what your role is.
I'll be watching very carefully all day to ensure no team makes an infringement or tries to be in the rules.
Thanks, Ian. Ian Ferguson knows a lot about top rules and top competition. That's what Top Town is. Top competition. We begin today with a simple sack race. Simple? Don't you believe it. 3 minutes in duration. The teams are ready behind me. Melissa, let them go.
Get ready, set.
And the game's on for the first regional final of 1986. Invercargill got the red lane. Oamaru's down the middle. Hometown Alexandra have the green, and they've first got to do this Ivan Major trick of screaming down the track, getting hold of one of the balls and getting it back to the other end. It's got to go with the female team member into the sack. Now for Invercargill, Fiona Gilroy's done a grand job. Alexandra's Debbie Watson is first to the line, and Oamaru are running third at this stage. Oamaru's Lynn Howe was the first ball collector. Now Alexandra are away to a great start with the girl holding the ball in the gunny sack, and it must be held above the head. And this game is a real exercise in coordination, people. They've got to come down the ramp, then go through the slalom. In the centre there, Oamaru's made some good ground. Alexandra's lying second at this stage, and third away on the outside. Now, when they get over the ramp, they've got to keep their feet, get down here and drop the ball, and the second team should be on the way. It's a 3-minute game. It's the most number of gunny sacks that we have down the end. Right, the second competitor's away for Oamaru. This time they're using the mini scooter. How's he going to carry it back? Will she carry it back? Going to stick it up the jumper and head back to get the team away with a second sack. Those gunny sacks, incidentally, are heavy vinyl too. And you'll find that they've been very hot because the temperature's up around the 33-degree mark here in Alexandra today. It looks like a real battle for Oamaru, and right on their hammer is the hometown Alexandra as they load up the second sack. 3 at a time, holding the ball above their heads. And Invercargill's caught up, they're not away yet for their second sack. And it's anybody's game, and Alexandra might just get to the edge here. Coordination is the secret. And as you can see, the hometown team's got it down to a fine art. The slalom's tricky. Invercargill roll back at this stage. They're going to be really fighting. There's only 2 ranks here. and we thought we might get some congestion, but the three teams aren't quite close enough. And Alexandra's at the front. They're about 6 feet ahead with their second gunny sack. And they've come a tumble over the line, but it gives them a chance to get the little bike back for pick up for the next ball. So we can get away with the third. And round first, doing an Ivan Major wheelie there is Alexandra. He's got it under his jumper, and he's away again. Oamaru a little bit slow on the turns there, but Invercargill's making some ground. Those oysters might be starting to tell. Alexandra's got about a 10-metre lead coming down to the gunny sack for this time. And as they do the turn, all teams are in with a chance. If Invercargill can get their act together and get these three people moving in unison, they could still figure in the finish of this first round game. Right, we've got about 20 seconds to go, and it's neck and neck between Oamaru. Oh, Alexandra's taken a tumble. They've dropped their bundle. Invercargill's coming up. They might run the Quinella yet.
2, 1, 0. Well, Alexandra, I thought, had it won. Paddy, give us the situation.
Well, maximum points go to Oamaru in the first game. Invercargill ran the Quinella and collect 4, and Alexandra's on 2, Bill.
Well, from here on, it gets harder or easier, depending on your point of view. These are the Tarzan rings, and they're exactly as they sound. The object of the whole operation, to get one of these fellas, a fluffy gorilla, across the rings, and the team at the finish with the most gorillas wins the game. The time duration is 1 minute 30. Oamaru are ready and waiting. And, oh, by the way, Invercargill ready to run a little interference with the catapults. All right, Melissa, they're ready. Let them go.
Ready, set.
Well, I thought that they might have used their joker here, Oamaru, and get away to an early break. But the first 3, and you're only allowed 3 contestants on the rings at any one time, are up and away already with the monkeys around their neck. Now, that's the team captain, Gordon McLennan. He's a painter and loves volleyball, and also has done a fair bit of practice on the swinging rings. Lynn Hoare is their second contestant, and it is a very tough game. Lynn's hit the deck. That'll do your makeup no good, dear. Right, Brent is there, Brent Sherwin, and Brent Sherwin's all ready for this game. He's been practicing for months. He's a bit of a weightlifter, a carpenter, everything, you name it. And he's going to get their first one over, or is he? He's done the big swing onto the bank, and he's down the steps, and they've scored their first over the line. Right, Sherry is the second lady in the team. It's got to be guy, girl all the way. Sherry's a 17-year-old gymnastics student, so this should be easy for her. No, she's hit the dust too. Those monkeys look very light, ladies and gentlemen, but believe you me, once they've been in the water a couple of times, they're going to be as heavy as last year's taxman. Now, the Invercargill team on the sideline here are trying to thwart their attempts with the dirty big catapult, which reminds you of your school days as a child, and that's what Top Town's all about, bringing the kid out in you. They've got at least a couple of gorillas in the bag already, and we've got 2 on the rings only. They can skip the very first ring if they... No, 3 in the water so far.
9,
on the count
8,
for the 97.
7,
Oamaru's
6,
turn in the Tarzan
5,
rings.
4,
There's another
3,
piece for the Shanghai.
2, 1, 0.
It's going to be an exciting one to see how many monkeys have got across. We've got a couple suspended.
Good game, Ian. Good game. Good game. How many? How many?
4.
4. Any problems? They're still going at it. Any problems?
No, no problems at all.
Okay, 4. Melissa on the scoreboard. Oamaru, 4. Now some big ball skills just to see if everyone's been concentrating. Now, this is a game in which all 3 teams compete at the same time, and it's a round robin in 2 parts. They're ready. Let them go, Melissa.
Ready, set.
Right, teams have got to be in pairs. And you can see the colours for Alexandra, it's the green, Oamaru is the blue, and red is for Invercargill. Now they've got to get these balls over the pool, so there's going to be some congestion here. It's starting already as the teams try to manipulate the balls going through the pool. Nope, Invercargill's lost his round the side. And first through, I can't see, but Alexandra's second, and Oamaru. The points leaders at this stage of Top Town are through with their ball. They've got to get it to a line here, and then the pair that are in the first contest have got to race up and get these huge poles, which they use to manipulate the balls along the bumpy track. Call it a honeymoon highway if you like. It looks like Oamaru have got their first man of their 2-man team there, and right beside him is Alexandra, with Invercargill running third. Now, what the 2 have to do is, without any part of their body touching the ball, like a big jelly it is, it wobbles all over the place. It's made of canvas, so you can see when a bit of it gets wet, it makes it all that much more difficult to negotiate. They've got to get it over the bumps there without touching it with any part of the body, or Ian Ferguson will have to disqualify him. And it looks like Alexandra have got their first ball over. That's the whole object. By now, their second team will be running back to collect the second ball and come back to the starting point, the bumps there, where they go and collect their poles and do the same trick over again. Right, Invercargill's got their third one through. This is Alexandra, hand on. The boys are in fine form of the green tops and the golds. They've got their second ball through. Reminds me of that TV series, the Patrick McGowan one with a huge big ball was in it, the Prisoner series. And when they come along with those, if anybody touches them or prods them, look at him. He's prodding it. He's prodding it as he has to until the end of the hill or a bumpy portion of the course, and then they can roll them, pump them, kick them, whatever, to the finish line to get as many balls as they can over. Right, I think Alexandra might be making up lost time here. Nobody's used the joker in this game, to my knowledge. We'll check it out at the end of as scores go. Invercargill and Oamaru going hammer and tongs together, neck by neck. Meanwhile, it looks like Alexandra, the home team's away. They'd have a good 20-metre start at this time. Oh, they're prodding it like an Aussie batsman. Look at them. We hope the results are a heck of a lot better. I think they are too. This might be where Alexandra picks up some points for the home team.
10,
Oamaru and
9,
Invercargill are neck and
8,
neck. Wait for the countdown now.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And Melissa's super hooter ends the first round of the two-round game.
Well, provisionally, all three teams got 4 balls across the line. We'll have to wait for the final line judge call to see who won that game. The L&P competition's being run with these shows. It's for a trip to either Queenstown or Rotorua. The entry form's either on page 30 of the Listener or wherever L&P is sold. You have to answer simple questions, and today's toughie is this one. What do the letters L and P stand for? Toughie? You have to answer it and send in your entry form. We'll have more Top Town competition in just a moment.
You gotta go for it. You gotta show for it.
And welcome back to Molyneux Park, Alexandra, Central Otago for the second half of L&P Top Town 1986. We're back at the Tarzan rings. Invercargill are about to play their joker. Invercargill have just played their joker. That means they double their points for this game only. All right, Invercargill is swinging. Alexandra are firing the balls. 1 minute 30 seconds. Start them, Melissa.
Ready?
Well, the joker's in for Invercargill. They must be very confident in the way they're shinning up the pole to get the first rings. That's Grant. It is Grant Smith. Actually, Grant's pretty good at skin diving, and there's Alexandra letting fly with the first insult. Physical insults, those little round balls are air-filled. They won't harm them if they hit them, but they might just make them lose concentration and lose their grip at the same time. But he's all right in a bunch. They're very accurate as Alexandra with the catapult. They've got at least 1 gorilla over. I think they've got 4 to beat, which was Oamaru's score in the first game, just going on memory, but that'll be checked out later on. They've got 2, they're allowed 3 on the rings at any one time. They're a little slow in retrieving those gorillas, but the lass has made it through very well. If I remember rightly, I think that's Jeanette Clark in the Invercargill side, and she's made it too. Very well done, because it's an extremely hard game for a guy, let alone for the girls to get through. And they might have played their joker at the right time. Invercargill, coach Clive Williams will be very happy with his team's performance here. I think they've got the best part of 3, maybe 4 monkeys over. Here goes Alexandra. No, too low. Reload again quickly, Alexandra. Try and knock him off their stride. No, somebody has made it to the edge. Yes, he has. He's safe again. Invercargill going very well indeed. A couple of the team members are now starting to feel the pinch. They've got to go right through the whole team.
10,
there's one of the
9,
girls
8,
come down with all
7,
the grace of a French
6,
frogman.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Canny,
0. Okay, that's a great game. Tell us how it happened. How did Invercargill go?
Oh, they went very well that time. They got 7 monkeys through.
7, so it's a 4 and a 7. Write it up, Melissa. Invercargill 7. It's time for part 2 in the round robin of the big ball competition. Remember, Invercargill were 3rd in the first round, so they've dropped off. So, for first and second places in the big balls, it's Oamaru and Alexandra. 2 minutes 30 seconds. They're ready behind me. Let them go, Melissa.
Alexandra's the team in the green and gold. Oamaru the gold tops with the red shorts. The got to get their balls quickly. This is the sprint part, and for the girls it's a little tough, I suppose, as they try to get their ball up to the easiest angle to get into the pool. Actually, the pool was going to be of jelly, ladies and gentlemen, but it just wouldn't set in the terrific temperatures we've copped here today. We're talking about 33 degrees, and I reckon that's the best part of this game, into the pool to cool it off. Once they've got their balls over, remember, as in the first round, they've got to sprint up to get their poles with which they manipulate the dirty big air-filled balloons down over the humps and onto the end of the course to start scoring. We've got nobody down there yet. We've got Oamaru in front. I think they'll have their first pair at the end ready to belt the balls before perhaps Alexandra can. Yes, they are. They're first away over the blue humps. That's the blue lane for Oamaru. They're halfway down it already, and they're bouncing along at a great rate. They've got the hang of it now, that's for sure, and they're not going to let the second round slip away from them. They've got one ball over. Alexandra's just behind. They'll be about 10-metre front up, 10 metres in front at the moment, as they race back to get their second ball and start the whole process over again. Actually, those big balloons that are so uncontrollable remind you of that Queensland beer belly contest, if you know what I mean. Now they've really got the hang of it, haven't they, Oamaru? They're streeting away. Alexandra's not getting in by a long chalk. They've got about a minute to go in this game. They've got 2 balls over each as the next teams race back with their poles. And remember, they're not allowed to touch the ball with any part of their body until it ends the mountain, the hill trail, if you like. And it's Oamaru in front once again with their third ball. Bouncing along quite happily. Alexandra, though, has made some good ground here by, their third couple's going very well, and there's only a metre or 2 in it. In this round robin, in the fight for the major points in this game. Back they go again to collect another ball and come through. Will it be Alexandra or Oamaru? Invercargill are already third place getters. We know they've dropped out. They've got 2 points only for this round. So there's a big 6-pointer coming up here for, and it looks like Oamaru, by crikey, they'll be proud. They've got their mare over here from Oamaru. Mr. Denny has come over specially, and if they win this top town game, they're going to give them the key of the city over in Oamaru. For first-timers, they're doing a great job. There's about 20 seconds to go, and Oamaru look as though they're going to take out the 6-pointer, but anything can happen between now and then. Alexandra just slipped at the start there. They'll
10,
go back and get
9, 8,
I don't think
7,
they're going to make it.
6,
Looks like it's Oamaru's
5,
game.
4, 3, 2, 1. So, Oamaru with 5 balls across the line, Alexandra with 4, and remember Invercargill with 2 balls across the line were eliminated in the first round of the round robin. Okay, that was the situation for those 2 parts. What's the overall situation, Paddy?
The overall score at the moment, still with the Tarzan Ring games to be completed, has Oamaru with 2 big 6s up front on 12 points. Alexandra and Invercargill are level pegging for second with 6 each. Cuddles?
Okay, Cuddles. The last team's ready on the Tarzan rings. It's Alexandra with Oamaru firing the balls. 1 minute 30 seconds. Last time. Go for it, Melissa.
Well, Alexandra's turn now on this game to score as many points as they can. Alexandra's a sort of sister city to Tekawiti in the North Island, if you know what I mean, from the heat point of view. It gets very, very hot in the summer and very, very cool in the winter. As a matter of fact, there's a fellow over there with a barbecue, and it's so hot he hasn't even turned the gas on to heat the griddle yet. Right, they're on, and the swings, the thing as you've seen in previous heats of this game, if they keep their momentum up, it's made to look a lot easier. Because if you stop in the middle, then you've got to start rock and rolling your body to get the tempo up again. And meantime, of course, you're blocking it for the girls behind. And Vivian's got through. Gee, they're doing very well with their first 3 competitors, Mark Nicol, Debbie Watson, and Mark O'Brien. They look like they're in for a big score here. As he sweats it out, now he makes the edge, which is, you can see, a super reinforcer. Nobody gets injured here. Never mind, we've got the ever-faithful St John ambulance on hand for anyone suffering from heat, and of course lots of LMP, the thirst quencher, to keep the contestants and the huge crowd here very happy at this first regional final of the LMP Top Town. And Alexandra is doing it rather well. They race away in this third heat. They haven't played their joker here. And the Tarzan Rings has brought a couple of the teams unstuck already. He made it to the side. I think that'll be considered an over. There's about 15 seconds left to go. And Invercargill getting all sorts of...
9, 8,
Alexandra
7,
getting all sorts of
6,
help from the crowd.
5,
And I'm doing all they can to spoil it.
2, 1. See how fast those balls were going? Okay, Ian, tell us the good news.
They got six monkeys through.
6. Any problems?
No,
Any
no
defaults?
problems at all. No, there's a very close call there, but she wasn't in the pool. Yeah,
She didn't touch the bottom of the pool. She
No,
made it.
yes.
Good. Okay, let's look at this. Alexandra's 6. So it's 4, 7, and 6. It's a tight one. What's the story, Paddy?
All right, the scoreboard at this stage has Invercargill, who've already played their joker, with 18 points. Oamaru is on 14, Alexandra on 10, with Oamaru and Alexandra both with their jokers to play, and anybody can win at this stage, Bill.
Absolutely right, Paddy. It's tight and tense. The final game, the big one. A joker. Oamaru! Another one. Alex! Right, double S point score for this game only. It's a giant jigsaw. The object is to finish that pattern down at the other end. The time duration, we don't quite know yet, whatever's left and how fast they can do it. All right, they're ready behind me for the final game of the first round. Melissa.
Ready, set.
Right, well, if you're weak in the arms, this game's not for you. Team manager Dave Hill tells me that Oamaru have been training in those famous whitestone quarries, and they reckon their girls are quite up to this. You see, there's only 2 monkey bars, so the first team that gets away with its first card really gets a break on the field, because you're not caught up in any of the traffic at the monkey bars. Now, Oamaru are in 3rd place at this stage. Alexandra are down there. Each team captain was given a pattern last night, which they've studied. They don't know what's under their cards until they actually pick them up. So as you can see, if they've got a blank down there, they've got to stick that in a blank corner. Otherwise, they cannot rearrange the cards in their jigsaw until the very end of the game.
Yes, Paddy, they've got a pattern to look at, that the wind is playing havoc. There's going to be a bit of a problem with the wind. That gives them just an added thing to do when they get down the far end.
Well, Bill, because while they're heavy, those cards are about 15 kg each. They're also very unwieldy, aren't they? And as you say, the wind can pick them up and carry the team members any which way. Right, let's see how we're doing now. They're up and over the monkey bars. One team member's allowed to let go there, but they've got to keep a hold on it. Somebody has to keep a hold on it at all times. Now, we don't know the patterns either. Ladies and gentlemen, for you folk at home, you can see the pattern unfolding there. And each team has 2 cards up so far. Invercargill on your right in the red lane. They've got their 3rd in position now. It's an odd-looking pattern to me at this stage, but it might be the right way to do it. I'm sure they've studied the pattern they've got and how to do it. And Oamaru have also got their 3rd card in place now, have they? There they are, taking up their 4th card. They've got 9 to get up there. And when they run down over that running track with those cards, they've got to hold them high above their heads, and by crikey, they're going to be very tired by the time they've got the full pack of 9 cards up. And as Bill mentioned, that wind is blowing a few down. They'll have to resurrect them and get them up as quick as they can. They're very hard work here for the guys and girls. Both team members have to hold the card and take it up. Oamaru is heading for its 5th card, and I think Alexandra might have their 6th card up there, but the wind has knocked a few over on them. And Ian Ferguson, our super judge, just might have his work cut out here, because if they've got their cards up there and the wind blows them over, he's going to have to make all sorts of allowances. Yeah, here comes the 6th card it is for the Emerald and Golds. It's Alexandra, the home team. I'm pretty sure they're ahead by about a neck. Oamaru's right behind them. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in place. Here's their 6th. They're 2/3 of the way through, and their pattern's looking pretty, isn't it? Or was it? They've got another bend or 2 to sort out there, I think. Invercargill on the far side, they've got 5 cards and their 6th card coming up too. It looks as though they're going to wait till the end to bang them all up, because the wind is just blowing them down. They've got a similar pattern, I think, every one of the teams. They might have been led to believe that they each had... No, they've got individual patterns too. But you can see how hard it is now on the girls. Who's that, Brent, is it? Oh, he's up and over those monkey bars quick. See if the lass can push it over for him while she climbs over. She does so. Those monkey bars are about 8 feet off the ground too. So it's a real test of endurance, this one. There's no gimmicks in it. You've got to be tough or you're out of the school, baby. And with this last game being the deciding game in this first regional final of Top Town, and the cheer girls are really egging on their side. And the hometown here in Alexandra are pretty keen that they've got a winner too. It's still anybody's game. They've got 8 cards and the 9th card's going up for Alexandra. They're 1 ahead of Oamaru, I think, and Invercargill fighting to get their 9th into place. They've got to rearrange it because the wind has taken it down. Oh no! Alexandra just cannot lift it up. The boys so really on top of the ladder. Do you blame them? Do you blame them? It's going to be close. It's out of Oamaru and Alexandra, and I think Invercargill might be 3rd. Well, it's a decider, and we'll have to leave that one to the judge.
Well, I have the super judge here with me. Ian, I saw a lot of the boards blowing out. What was the situation there?
Well, the teams did actually put the boards in the right place first.
So even though they blew out, it didn't really matter. They'd had them in, and that was okay.
Yes, that's right.
And that's the way you ruled it.
That's dead
okay,
right.
Who won it then?
Alex was 1st, Invercargill 2nd, and Oamaru 3rd.
The way I read that, Ian, is that there's a dead heat of 22 between Alex and Invercargill with Oamaru third. Is that right?
That's dead right, and we're going to have a decider in the pool.
All right, 1 minute in the pool. Invercargill are ready. Let's go, Melissa.
Ready, set.
Invercargill first. Oh, and his skid right at the start. That track's got a bit wet with the splashing going on the earlier games. That's a pity. But there's no corner asked and none given. Invercargill having first shot because they've had the longest rest from this game. It's 60 seconds only to get as many monkeys over, not bothering with the interference of the catapults in this because it's a straight time trial for the teams. Can the lass get across? The judge is going to take this into consideration because some of the girls could be suspect in letting go a little bit early. But no, see how heavy those blooming monkeys are getting now too. So it's a 60-second in this tiebreaker. No catapult there. And Invercargill, we're down to about 20 seconds now. The cheer girls are urging them on, and the Alexandra people are giving this visiting side of Invercargill a great hand too. Come on, Invercargill. Come on, Alexandra. Who's going to be this regional top town team?
9,
That's it, Dick.
8,
We're on the countdown
7,
now.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, an infringement or two from Invercargill there. They got 2 gorillas across. It's Alexandra's term. Who's going to be top town? Melissa, let's go.
Ready, set.
60 seconds for Alexandra, the strip fitter than Invercargill in this playoff. No names, no pack drill, but to give you an idea of the competitiveness of this contest, one team during rehearsals yesterday had a watchdog with a video camera taping all the other teams to find out their weak spots. And here's where we'll find out if Captain Alan Whittaker's telling fibs about whether his squad of 16 were training by going mountain climbing up and down Mount Aspiring twice a day and having hoo-hoo bugs for breakfast. They've got to beat 2 monkeys in, and they've got 1, they've got 2. I think Alexandra's trying very hard as time slips by. 25 seconds to go. How many monkeys can they get across to really clinch this top town regional final for 1986? Who will we see in Wellington on March the 1st? I think they've got 2 or 3 over. I've lost track myself in the excitement.
9,
And that's what happens when you let
7, 6,
We're on the
5,
countdown now.
4,
He's over.
2, 1.
It looks like the hometown's going to take it out.
Well, Alexandra from Alexandra have won the first round of LNP Top Town 1986. Second was Invercargill in that playoff, and third Oamaru, and it's
Tremendous
Alexandra
finale.
that will go through
Yeah.
to the final.
Look forward to it too. I'm going white baiting. Bill will rub noses again in Timaru.
See you from Timaru next
Bye
week.
everybody. Thanks a million.
You gotta go for it, yeah. You gotta give it all.
Television New Zealand acknowledges the support of Hertz Rent-A-Car, the 1025 photocopier supplied by Team Xerox, clothing supplied by Adidas New Zealand.